4 to shoot. Hepburn, floater. Oh, yeah! Chucky Hepburn stealing hearts.
They're playing as well as anyone in the ACC.
The revival is very much alive. Smith. Oh, yeah! Come on! 7 threes for the Australian.
We just come in every single day with the right mindset, and Coach Kelsey does a great job at that. He comes in the same every single day, no matter what the situation is, and we feed off that.
Reyne Smith, how about that number right there? 3.8 field goals, again, 3-pointers made per game this season. That's the very best in the ACC, and the old lefty has just been lighting it up. Comes rolling in with Pat Kelsey from the College of Charleston, and man has not looked back, and this Louisville team is smoking. They've won 14 of their last 15. They're feeling it, ranked in the top 25 again, and people are buzzing up there in the Commonwealth. And with that said, making his debut on the show from down under and now from the Commonwealth, Reyne Smith joins us. Reyne, first of all, good seeing you. Thanks for joining the show. I mean, there's so much I want to talk to you about. Before we get to your journey, I want to ask you about your hometown of Ulverstone, Australia, right? Is that correct?
Yep. So from Ulverstone.
Right, so if I said to you, what's the coolest thing to do in your hometown? What would you say? What's the thing to do in Ulverstone, Australia?
There's not really much to do. It's a smaller town of about 15,000 people, and kind of during the summertime, there's like a river that kind of runs through the middle of town, and you kind of jump off like a little wharf that would jump off during the summer, and that's probably the funnest thing we'd do there. And outside of that, it was just kind of working out.
All right. So your journey to me is fascinating. Obviously, you played a lot of international competition and so forth, and that really opened the door, I'm assuming, for your jump into the United States, is it not? And that's the relationship with Pat Kelsey.
Yeah. So I've been fortunate enough to play multiple times with the national team on different occasions, and kind of led to finding PK and the staff through their connection with Australia in the past. And yeah, it's been a pretty cool journey of basketball, and it's just taken me all around the world, which has been a lot of fun.
Was that like an instant connection given his energy and your desire to get to the next level?
Yeah, like throughout the whole recruiting process, when I first met him, I kind of knew I saw myself playing for him. It happened quick. It was kind of during COVID, so it was a weird time for me in recruiting, especially being an international. And I only was able to see him off like Zoom calls and things like that, but instantly kind of just fed off that energy, and along with the entire staff, I just kind of connected with and didn't really waste any time in that recruiting process.
Before we get to Louisville, I do want to ask you about the College of Charleston, because number one, for folks who have visited, Charleston, South Carolina is one of the great cities in this country. There's so much to do, great cuisine, great people, obviously the facilities, the tradition of winning and all that stuff. That probably felt like home a little bit for you, didn't it? I've never been to Australia, but I would assume there were a lot of similarities of Charleston, South Carolina, and some of those sleepy beach, coast town, Australian atmospheres and so forth. Does it not? Is that crazy or not?
Yeah, for sure. And Charleston was a real special place for me. It is a place that welcomed me from coming across the world, and the people there were unbelievable, from everyone in the administration and things like that. And the city was great. I loved living there, and yeah, it definitely had a little Australian vibe, I guess, to it. I tell people it's probably the closest thing to Australia that I can get. So it's definitely a special place, especially being along the beach. The weather's nice and things like that, and the people there were unbelievable, and I loved every bit of my time in Charleston.
So when Coach decides, hey, you know what, this Louisville is such a great, because he could have been down at College of Charleston for the rest of his life and been completely content and happy. But I mean, how do you say no to Louisville, right? It's one of the great basketball vibes in the country. Was that a no-brainer for you? I mean, how does that work for you as a player when you see your coach going to a place like Louisville?
It was crazy. It was a pretty crazy time and it all happens really quick. And yeah, yeah, just saw it all happen and put my name in the portal. Then that gets all kind of figured out, and it was there was really no wasted time. Like I wasn't really interested in going through the whole recruiting process with other schools and things like that. I knew I wanted to play for this staff, and especially being at a program as storied as Louisville has been crazy. It's something that I never really thought would happen throughout my college career. And if you were telling me when I was getting recruited initially to Winthrop with Coach Kelsey, and then I'd be playing at Louisville my senior year, I don't think I'd really believe it.
The fact that you and Tyrese Proctor were high school guys together,
Mhm.
I mean, how much did you learn about Louisville and the ACC through your relationship with Proctor?
Yeah, I mean that's my guy. We talk just about every day still, and yeah, like I'd kind of hear about it, and I'd talk to him even when I was in Charleston still, and kind of just ask about it and things like that, and just talks about how it's like kind of like a big game every single night, and it's always competitive, and just kind of the stage is a lot bigger, and kind of figuring how to deal with the highs and lows of everything. And there's a lot more added spotlight that I wasn't initially used to, coming from Charleston compared to Louisville, and just kind of dealing with those things. I'm able to talk to him and get his perspective on things, which has been really cool and kind of help that transition period.
Isn't it amazing how small the world is that you two guys from down under can end up at Duke and Louisville, respectively, and having great success? I mean, it's kind of a crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it's wild, and we've kind of spoken about it. Like, um, sent him a video of like us together like 5 years ago, back at the Australian Institute of Sport, and kind of laughing about it. And like now that we're here and on one of the biggest stages of college basketball, it's been pretty crazy.
You know, I've been so impressed with your coach and the staff and the way you guys go about your business. And given the fact that you got all these moving parts at a school that wants to be relevant so badly, and rightfully so, given the tradition and history, for it all to come together so quickly. Rain, when did you realize the collection of talent that Pat and his staff had put together? You know what? It can work, and you know what? It's going to work pretty quickly. You know, and watch us go to work. When did you realize there was something special brewing in Louisville?
Um, I definitely felt it pretty early. I've been fortunate enough to be on some really good teams, especially the past 2 years. Winning our conference championship at Charleston back to back years, and kind of went into it. I knew the players were really talented going in from just watching on social media and things like that when all the recruiting stuff was happening. And then we got together in June, and you kind of saw it all unfold really quickly. And we were fortunate enough to then be able to go to the Bahamas in August, and that allowed some extra practice time before heading to the Bahamas and playing in August. And just playing with the guys there was a lot of fun, and you kind of saw that we could be really good if we just stay with the process and stay about the right things. And you've kind of seen that unfold throughout the year. But I definitely say I kind of saw it early, and it's been really cool to just see it keep unfolding.
Rain, what's the one thing about Pat Kelsey there's got to be a sense of consistency with everywhere he's been, he's won. And to be able to do it right from the get go at Louisville, what have you seen from him that you say, you know what, this is what makes my coach and this staff special?
I just think the energy and the passion of literally every single day, like kind of going through a stretch in mid-February where you kind of almost want to be looking ahead to March and things like that. It's the staff isn't really worried about anything other than right now, and that energy and passion that PK and the staff bring every single day is something that I don't know, you just kind of feed off, and it's infectious for the whole group. And yeah, that's pretty much what it is kind of that energy, like literally every single day. I haven't walked out of a practice or walked out of a film session thinking like PK didn't have any energy or seemed off or seemed like something was wrong. Like he's as soon as he's coming to work, he's there, like energy, bouncing his step and intense as always.
Speaking of energy, you're playing in front of a fan base that is ready to win.
Mhm.
And after the last couple of years, again, everybody's flushed it. Hey, it's a rearview mirror. It's all about now. Walking around campus, going to that beautiful town. There's so much great places to eat, things to do. It is a great basketball city. What's it like as a player riding this wave now where the enthusiasm is getting back to the point where, hey, Louisville's here to stay, boys. Y'all better get ready for it. But what's it like for you, given your world travels, the success in Charleston, and now you walk into this moment at Louisville? What's that like as a player?
It's crazy. Like I've heard all the stories of what Louisville's like when the basketball team's rolling, and having Peyton Seaver on staff. He's been able to give us great insight of kind of what it's like, and kind of seeing it happen like more and more as the season kind of goes on. It's been crazy. You kind of anywhere you go, you get noticed, and I feel like there's more people wearing Louisville clothing like around the city and stuff now. Like you always kind of see people wearing Louisville stuff, which has been really cool to kind of see this spark back in the city, I guess. And it's been a lot of fun from like interacting with fans and just seeing how excited they are for us, and seeing our success has been really cool, and just glad to be able to kind of bring back that energy and that basketball passion into Louisville again.
Has there been anything that surprised you about playing in the ACC?
Um, I wouldn't say surprised, but the main thing I was expecting was having a big game pretty much every single night that truly matters. So that's probably been the biggest adjustment period for me, is just understanding like it's literally every single game. Like you got to be ready to go. If not, you can lose by 20 quickly. So that's been probably the biggest adjustment coming from high major to mid major, mid major to high major.
All right, before I let you go, I started the interview by asking you about your hometown. And I was going through your bio today because I knew you were going to be on the show. And you
Mhm.
had down there as your favorite vacation spot, and I apologize if I mispronounce this, is Noosa, Queensland, Australia. Is that right? Noosa?
Yeah, yeah, Noosa.
No. All right. So again, I've never been to New Zealand. I've never been to Australia. It's on the to-do list, and I'm a traveling nut. Tell me why that is a place we need to visit. What's the story there?
So I went there 2 years ago when I went home last, and to visit one of my friends. And I mean, it was the first time I went there. I've known a lot of people that have gone there and go there for vacation, and it's like a little kind of beach town, and the beach is beautiful. It's like crystal clear water, and just that awesome like little Australian beach vibe town, and it's really cool. And yeah, that's definitely a spot I could see myself wanting to go kind of every year.
What do you miss the most about Australia?
Um, Probably the beaches, and it doesn't snow. I'm not really used to the snow. It's snowing a lot in Louisville this winter. It's been cold, and it's kind of the first. It's easily been the coldest winter I've ever been in. So that's probably the main thing I miss.
Well, you may be cold in Louisville, but it's smoking hot at the Yum Center. You guys have won 14 of 15, and you're playing the game the way it's supposed to be. And again, I know as you sitting back there on the perimeter, firing away threes, you love that style. But man, you guys are a joy to watch. I told your coach that last time he joined us. You move the ball, you space great, you're playing with tons of confidence, and it's really, really cool to see Louisville have success and that fan base be energized. So keep up the great work, man. Stay healthy. And again, we appreciate you joining the show.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.